back into your WordPress dashboard, go and hover over Appearance and then go to Themes. Click on Themes. You need to go to the area that allows you to add a new theme. And that's just here, the WordPress.org themes. Then search for a theme called Astra, A-S-T-R-A. Hit enter. And this is the one here. This is a theme, in other words, design that we're going to use for our new website. It's called the Astra theme. It's an incredibly flexible theme that allows you to do a multitude of things to your website and customize your website in any way, shape, or form. So let's click on that. Click on the install button, and then once it's done installing, you can click on the activate button when it comes up. So there it is. Click on activate. Perfect. Now let's have a look at our website address. Just so you know, your website is now live to the real world. You've now been able to get online, and that's exactly what you're looking at. You can access this from your mobile phone or any computer. Your web domain is live and running, and this is what you currently see. Not very good right now, but don't worry. In the next couple of steps, you're going to be really, really amazed at what we're about to do. It's really the easiest way to create a website with WordPress. So now, once you've installed and activated the Astra theme, what you need to do is go to Plugins, hover over Plugins, click on Add New. Now, what is a plugin? Before I do this, let me just explain that to you. A plugin is something that allows you to add extra functionality to your WordPress website. For example, right now we have a core WordPress installation, but we can add plugins for various things such as contact forms. We can add a contact form plugin. We can add an SEO plugin. We can add a WooCommerce plugin for selling e-commerce online. And so plugins come in various shapes and forms, and it allows you to add extra functionality to your website. The plugin that we're going to install now is going to be one that allows you to create instantly a beautiful looking website template. So what you need to do is go to Add Plugins and then search for a plugin called Astra Starter Sites. And that's the one there, Astra Starter Sites. Install now and click Activate. That will allow you to import an already built website in a matter of seconds. So if you scroll down now, you'll see that the Astra Starter Sites has been installed. To import the ready-made website design, what you need to do now that you've installed all of that is go to Appearance, hover over Appearance, and you should see an area for Astra Sites. So click on that. And then scroll down. It will ask you to select your favorite page builder. And the one we're going to use is Elementor. Elementor is an extremely flexible WordPress page builder. So click on that. You'll now have an option to choose from a number of beautifully designed templates, and you can preview one just by clicking on it and looking through it like that, and you can see that they're absolutely amazing. These are pre-built. You can deploy these, in other words, install these to your website in a matter of a click or two, and then start editing things on your website. Is this outdoor and adventure one. It's also one of the easiest ones to set up. So let's check this one out. If you're happy with this one, what you can do is then just click on, once you preview, just go down here and click on Install Plugins. You can install the plugins individually like that. Again, a plugin is adding extra functionality to your website. So Contact Form 7 and Elementor are needed to use this particular pre-built template. Once you've installed the necessary plugins, you'll then be able to import this site to your own website. So now it's just letting me know that this will now import this entire site onto our WordPress installation. And are we sure that we want to do that? Yes. Give it a few seconds, up to a minute, to import all of that data, and let's just wait and I'll show you what the outcome of that is. Depending on the speed of your internet connection, it can take up to a minute or two. So this is what it looks like when it's done. And then we're able to view our new website. And check that out, guys. That looks absolutely amazing, don't you think? In just a handful of minutes, we've been able to go from getting online to installing WordPress to installing an amazing looking pre-built website that we can now start going in and customizing to your taste. And I'm going to give you all the tools and knowledge you need to do that in this tutorial right here. Again, if this tutorial is helping you, please do help us by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and do share it with your friends. But check it out. Here's your home page. Here's the about page. It looks pretty spectacular. We've got a services page that has been built by default as well. And last but not least, here's what a contact page looks like, with your very own web form. So customers can come and fill out that form and you'll receive that message in your own email address. And this is a good example of a plugin. We just installed a plugin called Contact Form 7, if you remember, a couple of minutes ago. And this form uses that particular plugin to have that contact form functionality on your new WordPress website. All of this cool stuff, and it's ready to go. So the rest of this tutorial is to show you how to customize and set up your website to make it look absolutely amazing. The next thing we're going to do is do a little bit of housekeeping just to set up the site as we need it without all of the clutter that exists on it right now. So what I'm going to do is just go back to the WordPress dashboard, and you'll see all of this clutter that exists, and we don't need a lot of this. Just follow me and you'll be fine. So I'll take you through the process of how I set up a standard website. So go to Settings and go to General. This is the area where you'll be able to change your website title and also a tagline if that's applicable to you. You'll also be able to add a www in front of your website URL. What that is just a display on your browser. It doesn't really affect anything, so it's just a personal preference for me. I like to have a www in front of the URL when I go to my website, and same for your visitors. And so if it doesn't and you want to do that, all you need to do is click in between the / and the first letter and just type www, and make sure you do it in the second field as well over here. Now be very, very careful. Double check and triple check this, because if you stuff this up, your website won't load and you'll have to start the whole process again and reinstall WordPress. So make sure you've got the / www. your website URL in that field and in this field here. When you're confident you've done that right, you can click Save Changes, and what it will do is log you out automatically and then ask you to log back in when you've done that. Next, what we're going to do is delete any of the plugins that we don't need that have been installed by default. It's just a lot of clutter and a lot of bloatware, and we don't need most of it. So just hover over plugins and go to the installed plugins area. What you're going to do is scroll down, and I want you to deactivate everything except the Astro Starter Sites, the Contact Form 7, Elementor. I want you to deactivate everything except those 3 plugins, because they're the 3 essential plugins that we've just installed and are essential for building our website at the moment. Everything else is just a bit of bloat and it's messing up our site. It's just creating a lot of clutter. We simply don't need it, and it also adds the risk of your website being hacked. So what we're going to do is hover over all these other ones and click deactivate. A quicker way is to just click on the checkbox next to each one of the ones you want to deactivate and go to bulk actions and deactivate, and then hit apply. If you deactivate one of these 3 by accident, don't worry, you can just reactivate it. So once you've deactivated those, just check them off again. And then what we're going to do is delete. Perfect. So now all we should have when we go to install plugins is these 3 plugins, and we won't get any of that clutter that we had before. Next, what you need to do is go to Pages and click on All Pages. When you install WordPress and you install a theme, sometimes it installs some default pages just to give you a sample, and there it is there, the sample page. So what we can do now is delete that sample page. So we can click on Trash. All the other pages that have Elementor next to it are obviously created when we imported that default template on our website, as we can see up here. So you can delete any of those if you want, but I would suggest leaving them activated, because you can definitely use them as a template, then go in and then start editing those pages to make it even faster to finish your website. In fact, it could even be just an hour, update a couple of images, update a bit of text, delete anything you don't need, and boom, there you are. You're done. You can launch your website. You can start promoting to all of your clients. So once you've deleted a page, just go into Trash and you'll just have to delete that permanently. And the same thing when you go to Posts. Just hover over Post and go to All Posts. There should be a Hello World post. Trash that. Go to Trash and delete permanently. Now the next thing we're going to do, if you go to any one of your pages right now and look at the URL, it is not the best possible URL it could be. That is not a clean URL. What you want it to be is something like this. And then if you have a service, you want it to be reflecting the service or the page that's under it. So you want your URL structure to be nice and clean. So there's a way to update that. Back in your dashboard, if you go to Settings and go to Permalinks. Right now we've got a custom structure activated, and it takes that structure over there, and that is not ideal. What we want is to delete that. We want /category/post name. So it'll be yourwebsite.com / the category of a post / the name of the post. Now it's important to note that this only applies to posts. However, I think these things here are pages, but I'll get to that in a second. What we'll do is just make sure you update that and then save changes. Now go into any one of your pages. So go to Pages and All Pages. Let's take the Projects page, for example. Click on that. And what you're going to be looking at here is the content editing module for WordPress. I'm just going to go back to the WordPress editor. The Settings tab over here. And as you can see, the URL for this particular page has actually changed. It's now Projects. And if you've seen what I've just done, when I toggled back to the WordPress editor, the website format did not format correctly when I loaded the website. So you need to use this in the Elementor site editor module. But anyway, we've been able to update the URLs of our pages now. And that's all we need to do as far as basic housework goes. Now let's start creating our homepage. The next thing I'm going to do is take you through some of the general customization features that are available for you to choose from to customize this in the way you want. So I'm just going to go back into my dashboard now. And I'm going to hover over Appearance and click on Customize. If we start at Layout and I click on that and then go to Header and Site Identity, Here you'll be able to add a logo of your choice. If you've already got a logo created or made on your computer, you can upload that right here and it will appear over here that's specified for the logo. If you don't have a logo made already, go and check out one of my other tutorials on getting one made online for free or how to get one made by a designer. You can change the site title over here. We previously changed it to make a website, so you can change it in the method I showed you before. You can change it by going over here. And your tagline can be something about your business, something that's interesting that would make people click. You also have the option of not displaying the title and not displaying the tagline. That's particularly useful once you've updated, or I should say uploaded, your logo. Whenever you've updated something, just click on Publish. I'm just going to go back to Customize. I just lost my spot there. Back into Layout and Header. You can also choose the way in which you want the header to be laid out. Right now we've got a logo on the left and menu on the right. You can also have logo in the center like that, or that way around. Or you can disable the menu completely. The last item in the menu, at the moment it's set to a button, and that's this thing here. You've got the option of not showing that or choosing something else, and also the option of changing that text and that will update dynamically as you saw, and also changing the link URL. You can also customize the style of the button and do a few other things that you can have a look at in your own time. So I'll publish that. And just click the back arrow when you want to go back to your customization options. You can also choose a transparent header if you would like to do that. What else can I show you in terms of general customization? Colors and background, you can choose your base colors. So that red over here is that highlighted color over there. So you can actually choose based on what your color scheme to be. And if you're in doubt about the color scheme, just go and Google something like famous brands color palette. And you'll be able to see the colors that some famous brands around the world use, to get some ideas, of course. You can also choose a background color. You can choose from any color that you want here, and that color can also have a level of transparency to it if that's what you're after. But I'm going to clear that once it's updated. I'm going to clear that. Then I'll go back. Header, transparent header. This is actually the one I was looking for. The background color overlay. When I change that, that changes the bar at the top, as you can see. Now you can choose from any color that you want, and you can also change the intensity of that particular color, and also manage the transparency if you want that header to be a transparent header. And that looks pretty cool, actually. So this is a popular one here. If you go to black and then make this sort of semi-transparent, this is actually a very popular style to have for a header area over there. So that's completely up to you. You can also change the site title color, and that's the site title over here. So you can change those colors, and I'm just going to clear that to default. Similarly, the hover color. So if I hover over that, that's the color that changes to. And also the menu background color, the menu link colors, and the menu hover colors in the same way. So that's all completely customizable. Later on in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a drop-down menu. And when we do that, that's called a sub-menu, and you can actually change the background color, the link color, and the hover color for those drop-down menu items as well. That's a bit later on. So if you're happy with what you've done, you can publish the changes, or you can clear anything you want to get rid of. So I'm going to publish that. I actually like the way this looks. Similarly, you can do a few color selections for the footer, and the footer is the thing down here. Footer feet down at the bottom, that's what that is there. You can also change the typography, which is the font style, the font size, line height, and other stuff like that to make it more personal to whatever your theme is for your website or the business that you have. And you can also Google some popular themes for your industry to get some ideas around that. You can change font style and sizes just like that. And also the content font size. Customize buttons, customize menus. I'll get into that later. And other homepage settings, but you won't need to change any of that because right now we've got the homepage set to home, which is done by default, so that's all fine. But I hope that gives you some sort of an idea of the kinds of things that you're able to customize. I'm actually going to upload a logo here, but I'll do that in my own time after I finish this part of the recording. I've got a logo pre-made, so I'm going to upload that. But if you want to learn how to make a logo, check out one of my other tutorials. Any questions about any of that stuff, just ask in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.